Well, good morning, boys and girls. Today we are doing a shared reading and double entry journal lesson. So for today, our objectives are students will be able to define all of the following academic language. And then the students will be able to do a double entry journal. Our assessment is a performance tax sheet for academic language and then our double entry journal. Our can statement is I can write an opinion piece with supporting details, and I can refer to details from the text to explain what the text says. The academic language we are learning is apathetic, means showing or feeling no interest. Creed, a set of beliefs or aims which guides someone's actions. Disgrace, loss of reputation or respect as a result of dishonorable action. Extraordinary, a very unusual or remarkable. Hostility, an unfairness or an opposition. Humiliation, the action of being made fun of or made fun of someone else. The intimidated, a frightened in order to make someone feel or do what you want. Ku Klux Klan, an extremist right-winged secret society in the U.S. Major leagues, the highest ranking baseball leagues. Negro leagues, all black baseball leagues. Opponents, someone who competes against or fights for another in a contest, game, or argument. A petition, a formal request signed by many people appealing to authorities, respect, to particular cause, prejudice, a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. Segregation, the action or state of someone getting or someone apart from the other, or things or being set apart, and forced separation of a different racial group in country, community, or establishment. Shortstop, a fielder that is positioned in the infield between second and third base, or the position itself. Taunting means to provoke or challenge someone with insulting remarks. Vigilant is a member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake the law enforcement in their community without legal authority because the legal agencies are thought to be inadequate. Our central focus for today is to have the students read the book Teammates and write multiple connections from the book. By doing this, the students will work on completing a double entry journal that they will then connect to share reading that they did for the Teammates. Students will also learn academic language and will also learn about how some people in the past have been segregated. Well, hello, my friends. How is everyone doing? Okay, boys and girls, today we are going to read a story about baseball, but most importantly, we are going to learn about how two teammates became friends. Does anyone have friends that play any types of sports in the classroom? Wow, we have a lot of athletes in the classroom. Now, with those sports that you've played, did any of them have any teammates or friends that were on the team? Yes, that is great. When you play sports, of course you're going to make friends or have people on the team that make it better while you play, or even make the fun happen during the sport. Can someone tell me what exactly a friend is? Yes, a friend is someone who can be trusted and who will be by your side no matter what. Why do we want to have a friend, in general? We would want to have a friend to play with, to sell secrets to eat together, and many other fun things. We are going to be reading about an important and talented baseball player, Jackie Robinson. To start off the lesson, we are going to watch a short BrainProp video to give us a little preview about Jackie and it's his history that made him who he is, or who he was. I would like everyone to pay attention to the video and sit quietly while the video is playing. Please talk to your table partner about the background information that you know about Jackie or about baseball while I get the video started. Okay, the video is ready. Remember, pay attention and sit silently. Enjoy the video. Wow, that video was so cool. Did everyone enjoy it? Awesome. Can I have a couple volunteers to tell me what they learned? Wow, I love those answers. We learned so much from the video. Even though they are little facts, they are still something that we learned from the video that we did not know before. Alrighty, boys and girls. Before we start reading, we are going to do review about some academic language that we will find in the story. Academic language is apathetic, showing feeling or no interest; creed, a set of beliefs or aims which guides someone or actions; disgrace, a loss of reputation or respect as a result of a dishonorable action; extraordinary, very unusual or remarkable; hostility, unfriendliness or opposition; humiliation, the action of being made fun of or making fun of someone else; intimidate, frighten in order to make someone do what you want. The Ku Klux Klan is an extremist, right-winged secret society in the U.S. Major Leagues is the highest-ranking baseball league. Negro Leagues is an all-black baseball league. Opponents, someone who competes against or fights another in a contest, game, or an argument. Petition, a formal or written request signed by many people appealing to an authority with respect to a particular cause. Prejudice, a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. Segregation, the action or state of someone being or someone or something apart from people or things or beings set apart. The enforce of separation is the different racial groups in the country, community, or an establishment. Shortstop, a fielder positioned in the infield between second and third base, or the position itself. Taunting means to provoke or challenge someone with insults or remarks. Valiant is a member of self-appointed groups of citizens who undertake the law enforcement in their community without legal authority or legal agencies that are inadequate. Now, let's begin our reading activity. Chunk 1. Page 85 to 3 lines on page 89. Academic language. Negro Leagues, all-black leagues, extraordinary, very unusual and remarkable. Segregation, the action of state of something or someone being apart from the other, or racial separation, meaning in a country, community, or establishment. Major Leagues is the highest-ranking baseball league. Prejudice is a preconceived opinion that is not based on a reason or an actual experience. Apathetic, showing or feeling no interest. Vigilante, a member of self-appointed group of citizens who undertake the law enforcement in their community without legal authority because the legal agencies are thought to be inadequate. Ku Klux Klan, an extremist right-wing society in the U.S. Creed, a set of beliefs or aims which guide someone's actions. Question: how were the Negro Leagues treated compared to the White Leagues? Answer: the Negro Leagues were great players and had adoring fans, but sadly they were not paid, and their lives were much harder to compare to the White Leagues. Black people were very afraid of many white Americans that wanted nothing to do with them or tried to make the blacks get treated even worse. What are some examples how black people were treated or segregated from the whites? Answer: some examples of how black people were treated are: had to go to different schools, different churches, they could not sit in front of the bus or trolley car, they could not drink from the same water fountain, and they were not able to rent hotel rooms, and most restaurants did not serve them food as well. Our summary: during this section we learned about how black people are treated compared to white people during this time. We learned different examples of how exactly they were treated. For example, they did not have their own things, and most of the time it was much, much worse than what the whites had. The baseball leagues were treated differently, especially if you had a different skin color. The Negro Leagues were full of fear of how they were going to be treated by many people that did not like them. They feared for their lives. Thankfully, one man named Branch Rickey was not afraid to change that soon to happen the world. Was not afraid of change that would soon happen in the world. Rickey wanted to have the best player on the team no matter what his skin color was. Rickey also wanted everyone a chance to prove themselves equally on the baseball fields. Chunk 2. Rest of page 89 through 91. Academic language. Opponents. Someone who competes or fights against in a contest, game, or an argument. Intimidate. Frightened in order to make someone do what you want. Disgrace. The loss of reputation or respect as the result of a dishonorable action. Humiliation. The action of being or made fun of from someone else. What type of man was Question. What type of man was Branch Rickey looking for? Branch Rickey, the answer. Branch Rickey was looking for a man who wanted to be a star player on his team. The characteristics he was looking for were being able to complete successfully despite threats that were against him, needs self-control to fight back when other imitates and hurts them, and someone who would not disgrace himself on the field, that to make sure that his future was being created and not taken away for future players of the same factors. The man Branch Rickey found was Jackie Robinson. Next question. How was Jackie Robinson treated on the Dodgers baseball team? Answer. Jackie Robinson was treated horribly on the Dodgers baseball team. For example, he was humiliated as he was playing on and off the field. The men who were raised to hate black people always moved to another table or different area from Jackie. The opposing players were cruel and the pitchers and called him nasty names. Players tried to spike him with the cleats. Pitchers would aim for his head, and he got threats against his life from individuals and organizations. Our summary is, reading in this section we learned that Branch Rickey had faith in Jackie Robinson to become a star player. Rickey was looking for a player that knew how to control himself when he was thrown threats and had been called bad names. Rickey wanted someone to make sure that he had a player that would not fight on and off the field against the people that did not like him. The only way Jackie Robinson was going to fight was with his skills on and off the field. We learned how Jackie was treated while he was on the team. He had threats coming from everyone. He ate alone, and his safety while playing was at risk because pitchers aimed at his head and other people spiked him with their cleats. He had taken this from individual people and organizations like the Ku Klux Klan. Chunk 3, pages 92 to 94. Academic language. Hostility, unfriendliness, or opposition. Petition, a formal request signed by many people appealing authority with respect to a particular cause. Shortstop, a fielder position in the infield between second and third base, or the position itself. Question. How did Pee Wee Reese treat Jackie Robinson differently than everyone else? Pee Wee Reese treated Jackie Robinson differently by giving him shortstop because Reese knew that Robinson deserved it more than he did. Reese welcomed Robinson with open arms, even though he did not know what a black person was or looked like. Reese did not care about the skin, but only how he played on and off the field. If he helped lead the team to wins, that is all that matters. Next question. In your own words, how did Jackie Robinson feel during this season? In my own words, Jackie Robinson felt very lonely and small. He felt this way because he was always had to be alone, even in hotel rooms, just because he was black, so they all had their own things. He was dealing with bullying and threats all over the place. Our summary in this section is we learned that Jackie Robinson was welcomed by Branch Rickey and Pee Wee Reese on the Dodgers team. Pee Wee Reese was able to welcome Jackie Robinson by saying he deserved his position at shortstop. All that Reese wanted was someone to lead the team to wins during their season. Being welcomed to the team made Robinson feel better, but sadly he was truly alone wherever else because he was singled out. Last chunk number 4, 95 to page 97. Academic language. Provoke. To make someone angry or upset on purpose. Question. What did Pee Wee Reese do to shock the world? Pee Wee Reese shocked the world by supporting Jackie Robinson on the field. People in the stands were threatening Jackie Robinson and saying horrible things to him while he was on the field, simply doing what he was there for. Reese heard what the fans were saying in the stands, and he did not like what they were saying to Robinson. He took a stance against them fans and showed them that he was on Robinson's side. Can you infer how Jackie Robinson felt when Pee Wee did what he did? I feel that Jackie Robinson must have felt very loved and relieved that he had someone on his side instead of yet another person against him. He was living such a horrible life that had so many people against him when he was born with the wrong skin color. Everyone deserves to be treated the same, and most likely he felt that way with Reese did that to him on the field by putting his arm around him and supporting Jackie Robinson. In the last section for our summary, we learned that people could change from how they were raised. Pee Wee Reese was able to go against his family, friends, and the fans of his baseball team to support Jackie Robinson and his baseball career. Pee Wee Reese knew that Jackie Robinson deserved to be on the field with him and in his uniform that he wore. Jackie Robinson needed someone to believe in him as well. Double entry journal. Alrighty, my friends, now that we are done with our shared reading, we are going to be creating a double entry journal that goes with the book that we read. To do this double entry journal, we are going to use connections from our personal life, the world, and other books or stories we've read. As you can see, you all have the double entry journal at your desk. To fill this worksheet out, you will revisit the story and pick out important passages or quotes that you can relate to. For example, I can relate to the quote of stopping beside Jackie. Pee Wee put his arm around Jackie's shoulders, and audible gasp rose up to the crowd when they saw that Pee Wee had done. There was silence. But because I will stand up for anyone that deserves it. I know that there are many people that deserve more recognition than they get. I want to help people around me and bring them up and not down. So for example, you will put the quote on the left side of the worksheet and you will your relation or connection on the right side of the worksheet. For each of you, I would like you to write 5 connections on your worksheet. In order to do a great job, you will need to reread the parts of the story to find different paragraphs and quotes to make the connection to. Go ahead and get started with the worksheet. For example, this is what it's supposed to look like. So in the book, you put your quote. In my responses, you explain why you are picking that quote and how it relates to you. Performance text sheet. Okay, boys and girls, we are going to work on our next worksheet. With this worksheet, we are going to go over our academic language that we learned today. This worksheet is just like the others that we've done before. There are 2 columns. On the left there are 2 columns. The left column is the list of words we've learned, and on the right are the words definition. You will draw a line from the word to its definition. Let's go over the example of the worksheet. Our first word is extraordinary. Does anyone know what the definition of extraordinary is? Yes, extraordinary means better than normal, even more awesome or remarkable. Now, let's draw a line from extraordinary to its definition. Very unusual or remarkable. Please draw a line to your paper. When it is done, it is going to look like this. You can use many different colors or however you feel. So there's extraordinary, and then all the way you can follow the line and it's down there. So that's how it's supposed to look when it's done. Questions to ask. Recall how Jackie Robinson was segregated from others. Knowledge. Next, relate to Jackie Robinson when you felt left out in sports or other activities or places because you were different. Application. Since we finished our example from our last worksheet, you are now going to have the rest of the period to finish your worksheets. If you do not finish them, they are going to be homework. We did a lot today, a lot of hard work from each and every one of you. We did some shared reading and we read about Jackie Robinson found someone that became his friend and saw past his skin color. We also did a double entry journal to help make connections to what we read in our story. We also learned a lot of new academic language from the story, and they are apathetic, showing feeling or interest; creed, a set of beliefs or aims which guide someone's actions; disgrace, loss of reputation or respect as a result of a dishonorable action; extraordinary, a very unusual or remarkable; hostility, unfriendliness or opposition; humiliation, the action of being made fun of or make fun of someone else; imitate, frightened in order to make someone do what you want; Ku Klux Klan, an extremist right-winged secret society in the U.S., major leagues, the highest-ranking baseball league; Negro leagues, all-black baseball leagues; opponents, someone who competes against or fights another in a contest, game, or argument; petition, a formal written request signed by many people appealing to the authority with respect to particular cause; prejudice, a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience; segregation, the action or state of someone or something apart from other people or things, or being set apart; the enforced separation of a different racial group in the country, community, or establishment; shortstop, a fielder position in the infield between second and third, or the position itself; taunting, provoke or challenge someone with using insulting remarks; vigilante, a member of self-appointed group or citizens who undertake the law enforcement in their community without legal authority because legal agencies are thought to be inadequate. With everything that we learned today, I want you to take with you is to remember to be nice to everyone and look past of what you see in front of you or what you hear against them from everyone around him or her. Please finish both worksheets. If you have any questions, come and ask. Have a great